Hi everyone, welcome to Hunter Gatherer Cooking. I am at the Stalking Show 2024. We've had an amazing weekend. It's starting to quiet down. We're towards the end of the second day now, but I'm joined by Sergio from Sercout Wild Harvest, who tells me that he's doing things a little bit different, and he's here to tell me all about what that actually means, what he does. His wife, I don't know whether you were planning on saying this, but his wife has just won what was it? It was the deer call?
Yeah, the ladies stag call competition.
Ladies stag call competition. She's just won, so we'll say well done to her later. But yeah, if you do hear any weird noises, only at the Stalking Show. But Sergio, tell me all about
Alex,
what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Right, so Sercout Wild Harvest we do kind of, I don't like to call it outfitting company, but that's what we are really in the industry. So we organize hunts abroad in Scotland and mainly Portugal, and we have other countries that we are joining as we go along.
Yeah.
Okay. We are based in Scotland. Even though I'm Portuguese, I came over for a holiday. It's supposed to be a 3 month, and that was 23 years ago. So
Sergio is actually, you're basically neighbours. Or very close to Peter Gibbon, so they both know each other.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's mainly over in Portugal.
We do Scotland because I'm based in Scotland. Mainly roe deer, walk-up shoots, red stags in the Highlands. I work. Some stuff is myself guiding. Other stuff I put other people to do it.
Depending on your diary.
That's right. Yes. So and if you are to work as a business, you need to maximize the calendar. The calendar can only have so many days. So to make it work, of course, I cannot be everywhere, even though people come along. And
imagine if you could be there. Imagine if there were two of you.
Christ.
What would you?
I wouldn't stand myself.
I'm always jealous of twins because that's the only way that you can be in two places at once.
But you couldn't lie to ourselves.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would get along with myself.
So tell me more about the Portugal trips, because that's something that I know nothing about Asa. I've never done it, but I'd love to know what happens.
Portugal has a very big tradition in hunting.
Yes.
But not hunting tourism. Okay, so people don't know Portugal about hunting. They know about Algarve, about football, but never about hunting. So the story is funny. I used to work in the gun industry, in the gun shop, and I had to do a trip to Iwa, Germany.
Yeah.
And on the way out, I'm hearing a guy speaking Portuguese, and I stopped and says, "Oh, you're from Portugal?" So it's where I met my partner, my associated in Portugal, Tiago, and we spoke for 5 minutes, and then that 5 minutes became a 7-year relationship. Right. So he deals with everything in Portugal. It's called Montarias com Tradição, so he deals with everything on the ground. So all the ground, the preparation, everything. And since I met him, I start going back to Portugal a lot more than I used to.
I bet.
A lot more. So, because it was a conversation like saying, he wanted to try a little bit Scotland, and me being Portuguese, I thought, it would be interesting to show a little bit what Portugal has. So I went over to Portugal, he showed me, but I was Portuguese and I had no idea.
Right.
Because I'm from the north, the hunting is mainly in the center. And he showed us, and I thought, I like this, and I think we have opportunity. And my thought was, I could kill 2 cats with 1 stone, or whatever the people did, because I love Scotland. I could bring people to help the economy in Scotland, but the same way I could take people to Portugal and help the interior of the country, which is very empty. So we start. The first time I took 1 client for a red stag and 12 people for a monteria, and then now we are taking about 25 people in September for stags and about 150 for driven hunts through the end of the season. Plus
150
or more. This year going to be, as we go, we are already had about 22 people for 3 monterias.
Wow.
So we have February we're going to have one for 60 people, 2 buses, picking up from the airport, take them, 4 days hunt. But I sell in a way, when I say we try to do things a little bit different, is if someone comes to me because they want to shoot a lot of animals, I just have one and ask if it was in fenced area or whatever, and I said, no. He says, I want to shoot a lot. I says, no, I'm not your man. We sell an event which you have a May opportunity to shoot something. Okay? And normally I say we are an organized chaos.
Right.
Monterias is an organized chaos. You work with a lot of people, a lot of cars, a lot of posts, a lot of dogs.
Is this something, because Jose did something recently, not that, within about a month or
Probably
so?
Spain.
Yeah, I wonder if it's the same sort of thing.
Monterias,
though.
you can only do them in Spain or Portugal.
Right.
But Spain,
I thought it was Portugal we went to, but I could be wrong.
Spain been doing it they commercialized hunting many years ago. They have a very, a lot of properties are closed to manage the game and so on. Portugal is still very raw.
Right.
Okay, and we've been doing that in Portugal for 6 years. And now, even to begin with, riding to the airport to Lisbon with guns, imagine, like my first trip was 12 Lithuanians.
It's just riddled with potential problems, isn't it?
Oh God, and they would not even have an office to check the guns.
I've heard stories of just the paperwork is a problem.
Yes,
and
now with the time, I managed to get through customs because UK is different than any other country in the world.
Right.
Or not any other, but UK is being out of Schengen area, you are checked by customs.
Right.
All the other countries are checked by the police.
Yeah.
So they create a different type of complication. But now we managed to have a system we met some people that have been consistent. I tell them how many people gonna come. I apply ahead, and so they are expecting the people. So so we are kind of a bit more organized that way. So slowly, but every year is a new challenge which we need to overcome.
Just a bit of an off-piste question. Is there any tips or advice that you can give for people who are taking firearms abroad? Is there any kind of do's or don'ts that you would sort of off the top of your head recommend?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, one thing I found is I drive to Portugal in September as well. And because we left Europe, is a big idea that becomes, you can just go with your gun in a car and cross countries.
Right.
And you technically you can't, but you can also do. But so for the first time I done it, I contacted some agencies to tell me what to do, and none knew what to do.
I bet.
So I contacted every single embassy. So I was going from Scotland to France, Spain, and Portugal. So I contacted the embassies, and the only one that come back to me was France, and they said that I could transport my firearms as long I'm not like stopping for more than 1 day.
Right.
Okay, so I can carry my gun because I'm going to Portugal.
Yeah.
You apply for your hunting permit in Portugal.
So you would need to get in and out of France within a day?
Not technically with a day, but for example, you cannot go and you don't have proof where you're going with the gun.
Right.
Okay, so what I tell folk is you apply for an import permit to Portugal, and we apply for the hunting license. We send a copy back to you.
Yeah.
You put on your paperwork, and you are driving in France. Police stops you. Where are we going? I'm going to Portugal hunting. Are you? No. So in the paperwork they see Portugal and import permits. So you are traveling.
So this is quite interesting. So yesterday we spoke with Norman from Irish Safaris. And I found that really interesting because he was talking about just getting across to Ireland and what the legislation was. It sounds like you need to do a similar sort of process.
Because we are outside of Europe now.
Yeah, so how long, or is it the same process as say, Ireland? How long does it take to get that Portuguese hunting license? And I know how long's a piece of string, but typically what could it be?
When it comes to Portugal, is not how long, is who do you know.
Oh, right, okay.
So we have a very good system. We can get the license within a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's been a long years, many years, have situations where this year in February had a hunt, and I'm ready to leave to Portugal, go there earlier, and the organizer of the other side said, British says, oh, I have everything ready, and he says, this client no longer have this gun. He sold it. He got a new one yesterday. So he couldn't take, so the permission I had asked was for the wrong gun.
Right.
So within 1 day we managed to get everything sorted.
Wow.
because
I mean, Norman was saying it takes sort of 3, maybe 4 weeks.
yeah,
to
in Scotland
actually
takes a month. If
Yeah.
you put anything less than 30 days, they'll reject it.
Right.
but-
Right. Okay.
So, but in Portugal, because we kind of know the system and we know people within the system, and we can manage. But I don't like to do that.
Yeah.
I prefer to have at least a month
Yeah. Of
prior.
course.
So that there's,
Plenty of planning.
It's always a number wrong, you know. I
Right.
can tell you a story with Mr. David Freer.
Oh right. What did he do?
He didn't do nothing. He put the number wrong.
He did something.
Yeah. But it's
Come on, dish the dirt. Tell us about the real David.
so on the
I
way
hope
back.
you're watching, David.
On the way back, we are checking the gun because they check the guns going in and
Yeah.
they check the guns going out. So I'm always there, and I'm checking the guns with the police. And one police officer noticed that one number on the serial number on Davies is wrong. It's a 543 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, no, that gun is not the same number. The gun has to stay, and created a panic, you know.
Yeah.
And Davies already, I don't want the gun. I can keep the gun, you know. And I said, no. And I said,
That was his first response, was it?
Yeah.
It's not mine. Keep it.
no. And we were there, and the officer tried to be a little bit, because they don't want the work. It's a lot of people to go through, a lot of paperwork, you see. And I said, wait a second, listen. He got 10.
So I've seen the videos
Yeah.
from where. So that was with you.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
So I've seen
okay,
what
yeah.
I've seen what you organised.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
amazing.
So I told the police officer, careful, because he got 10, and you guys checked it.
Ah.
So who's going to be responsible? Because you let it in, and the officer looked to another one. Just a number. Yeah, I just let it go. And we went through. You know, but it's like, because it was a quick thinking.
Yeah.
You know, and I speak Portuguese. Sometimes it's a benefit. Sometimes it's
Right, I'm with you.
Can be
Wow.
but yeah. So we did field sports. Been with us. You saw the videos from field sport probably. Yeah. You've been there with us.
I mean, I was
Yeah.
I was going to ask for my own benefit. You know, what's the differences? I know the differences because I've
Yeah.
seen the videos.
Yeah.
It's just
Organized chaos.
It's just mind blowing. Absolutely, like when you said the animals and the people and the cars and things.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's why I say to people, if you book a driven hunt in Portugal, I prefer you to book the event,
Yeah.
and thinking that if you're gonna shoot something, have to be a plus.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a benefit. It's a driven
You're there
hunt.
for the experience.
A driven hunt used to be a village hunt
Yes.
to get rid of a problem,
Yes.
and a community would work together for the benefit of the village,
Right.
of the team.
Yeah.
So if we shoot 30, 40 boar, and there is 60 people, all the 60 people take a picture, and looks great with all the boar laying down. Some of them shot nothing, but they are part of the group because
Yeah.
they have a position, they have
community.
a place,
Yeah.
they have a. So we try. People speak about trophies. We speak about harvest.
Right.
Okay, even though, some people come over and take a great trophy, like again David did in Portugal for the wild
of
boar
course.
or
I
whatever.
mean, I've only seen David's videos and things, but presumably, if people head over to your website,
Yes, that's right,
you've got
yeah.
plenty of
Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
and
yeah,
videos. Yeah.
But it's like people. Okay, they take a Cape Sick with a trophy. They call a trophy.
Yeah.
But someone gonna utilize that meat,
Yeah.
and a lot of people like venison. They're not hunters.
Right.
So there's another thing I did in Scotland was I would say free venison for non-hunters on my Facebook page, and people contact me for free venison,
Really?
but they have to shoot it first.
Ah. Okay.
Okay, so I would give you the venison for free,
Yeah.
but you go out with me, you pay the outing, £60.
Hey,
and I'll
guys,
teach
you heard this. Free venison. You just got to shoot it yourself and get in contact with this man.
Non-hunters.
Non-hunters
Could be
only.
couples, could be, and we had a very success with that because, and my line of thought is, they're non-hunters, they like to cook. So imagine when they make a family dinner, they're gonna say, I shot that myself.
You're talking to me there. That was me. When Pete sent my red stag down, he's still in the freezer, some of him, but every time you're like, I shot that, I did this, I put this on the table, as it were, and it's very satisfying.
You take the idea of wrong hunting is wrong is so in the eyes of people, not even in the mind. The thought is right, is meat.
Yeah.
But people, the society that we have today, they cannot process it.
Yeah.
So I did a thing with a girl that came up on one of that hunts. She worked for an airline, okay, and she had a lot of stake because she put a picture of the dead animal.
Oh, right.
Okay? And but she stuck to it.
Right.
And then I thought, how about if we butcher all the animal for her to take home, now his husband, and we went out again and we took a picture with a gun, and every single bit of meat processed, vacuum sealed. And she got a lot of likes.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's no longer fur.
I know, and I've had the same problems. You put a cooked steak up, or venison steak. You put a raw steak up, people love it.
Yeah.
You put the animal up, completely different story.
Yeah, it just the thought that you were natural enough to take a life for something else.
Yeah. There was another chap that Jose introduced me to. He's from Portugal. I don't know what his name is. He's here somewhere. But I thought that I overheard him saying that in Portugal there's not, we might have to edit this out, but there's not a word for venison. You don't call it venison. You call it by the species.
By the species.
Oh, yeah. So I never knew that.
Yeah, and actually you put that now.
And I'll tell you
of
why. And if he's watching, I do apologise, because one of the boys at work, rightly or wrongly, I may have taken the mickey out of him because he asked what a venison was. He was English, so there's no excuse. But but this other chap, he pointed out actually that word doesn't really exist over there.
In Portugal, no, doesn't.
Yeah.
But venison, not. I don't think it could be wrong, but venison not necessarily means deer. I thought meat of boar could be called venison as well.
Oh right. I don't know.
I'm foreigner. Huh? I don't. My English is a little bit.
You're just speaking as a Scottish man.
Yeah, just someone in the world. But
this has been brilliant.
Yeah,
I had no idea it was all sort of linked in and things with David. Obviously, I knew that he wanted us to talk and things.
Yeah. He been.
All I was given is your name and number and ring him.
No, we did a few things.
Yes,
like,
David.
For example, to begin with my business, I gave away a lot of, I produced a lot. But one thing I did what was very successful was giving these 12 ladies that never hunted before.
Right.
To take them out stalking for rodeos, and I made a series on YouTube. Yeah.
I find that.
And we shot now it's more than 12, but we shot 14 row for the.
I mean, we haven't spoken about this, but you started with
YouTube,
with your social channels and YouTube and Instagram and things, and then the business took over. Is that?
It's like I heard a quote that was saying, "Do on a weekend what you like to do through the week."
Yeah.
So if you focus doing on a weekend what you like to do through the week, then the weekend becomes the week. There is downside to that. You just start doing it so much that you stop doing it yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know.
So, but yeah, the YouTube side was what started, a little bit more.
But you're still doing YouTube though, aren't you?
I do, and I don't. Is my problem now? I want to find someone up there that likes to do the filming and the editing.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
and that's where the time is, isn't it?
I don't have the time to sit down and edit it.
Yeah. Well, so if someone's watching and you want to help Sergio out, get in contact.
Content, yeah. But I started, and the idea came from a friend of ours. She was a vegetarian for 23 years.
Oh, right.
And I took her out. The idea was to take her out, show her what I do, and she didn't have to pull the trigger. None of the girls have to pull the trigger.
Right.
But after I talk to them, explain what you do, if they wanted, they could. And she did. She shot 2.
Wow.
And she's no longer a vegetarian. And
Wow.
I have vegans. I have a client of mine that every winter comes and shoots about 7 to 10 rodeos because he only eats what he shoots.
Yeah, lovely.
He was a vegan. He owns a gym.
There's more and more people like that.
Oh, yeah,
At least they're
100%,
taking
100%.
responsibility and
Yeah.
accountability for what they're doing.
I think it's just the way we put things across.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're always going to have people just want the trophy. And that's okay because there are other people just want the meat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's a great way of looking at it.
So,
well, look, thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking.
Thanks for putting the time aside. If anyone has any questions that I can answer, of course I will. Drop them in the comments below. If I can, I will steer them your way regardless.
That's fine, yeah.
All of Sergio's contact details, website, everything, that'll all be in the description. So you did hear him. If you're a non-hunter and you want some free venison, that's the first time I've ever heard that. So you might regret that, but
No, it's all right. I can only say no.
that's true. You can't say no because you said you do
I
it.
will not say no, but I will sort it out.
But I'm very, very keen to hear more about Portugal and what happens over there. I just find that fascinating. But thanks very much for watching. If you didn't make it to the Stalking Show this year, make sure you come to 2025. It's been a fantastic weekend. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming on.
You're welcome.
And give the video one of them, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon.